What's up, guys? It's your boy Jamaica here, coming at you with another tournament recap for Season 7, Week 7, the Sunday and Monday tournament was won by Ribbon tonight with the exact same deck, Esper Blink. I think this is. I've lost track of how many wins he's had this season, but he's on a tear. He's on a super tear. He went back to back with the same list, same 75. What more can I really say about this deck? I'll just go over it quickly again. It's kind of a blue-black deck with some white spells for, I'll just call it Esper. It's an Esper deck with a lot of just like top-end value creatures that kind of just like overtake the game at some point. Land base is, kind of just Espery, I guess. But the signets here really kind of help ramp into the late game. The early game is a lot about the setup here, where the signets are coming down. This Metal Witch you really want to play on turn 1 or turn 2 at all. You're looking at this as a late game card. Same with Animate Dead, which is a great kind of value card in a sense. All your creatures are so expensive, and when they die, you get them back for so cheap. Momentary Blink, pretty much everything here has like a into the battlefield effect. So Momentary Blink is pretty good and kind of re-triggering those. Oath of Jace is pretty much the big money here. It's kind of just a way to like bridge the gap between your early and your middle to late game. You want to just like draw a bunch of cards. You filter out the cards you don't need. Like maybe like a Skin Render is really useless against a control deck here. Soul Manipulation can kind of just like buy back all the creatures you discard with Oath of Jace. Also, just randomly is a remove soul too. Mana War, just a little just a little way to kind of like stay alive for a little bit longer until you get your setup to your late game. Cortosar also is kind of like a anticipate on a stick here. Pretty great. And it's a 1/3, blocks fine. Nevermaker is pretty much a brutal sort of like lock piece with a Miss Metal Witch. I've been caught under this a lot of times. But yeah, if you have a bunch of mana, Nevermaker can just kind of put any permanent on top of your library with Miss Metal Witch, and then you're locked out the game. So non-land permanent, not just any permanent, non-land permanent. So if you have a way to kind of like kill your opponent with like Nephalia Drownyard, maybe that's kind of a way. That's the only way you can kind of get out of it. But otherwise, it's a pretty sort of brutal thing. Careful Consideration, another kind of like dig spell here. On the same vein of Oath of Jace, you just want to like draw more cards, filter out the cards you don't really need. Skin Render, Murderous Redcap, mostly just kill creatures here. Redcap's also particularly interesting here. It just kind of almost never dies in some ways. Living Even to 10 kind of fogs your opponent for a little bit. Also Pro Red. Mono Red's probably a really bad match for this deck. 4 Cloud Blazer, that's where you know you've really made the value deck, because starting with 4 Cloud Blazer cards is pretty awesome. Mole Drifter plus Kitchen Fink, sort of. Pretty awesome. Six Lost Truths. I never see it unkicked, really, but if you're desperate times, you could just unkick it. But the kicker, for 7 mana, draw 3, 3/5, I think that's fine. Cloudscape's a good early play with Suspend, but, also fine in the middle of late game here. Magister Worst is really where the big money is here. This card pretty much brings you back in most matchups here. A lot of matchups are kind of creature-based, so Magister is a pretty powerful effect. And the Treasure Crew is kind of just like, you're doing all this filtering with Oath of Jace and Careful Consideration, so Treasure Crew is a really way to like build back up here. The sideboard is kind of a mishmash of stuff. Graveyard Hate here, and Phyrexian Furnace. Rags to Riches, just kind of like a sort of late game card, especially with the Riches part. I actually saw Riches cast once. I think it took like a 1/1 or something like that. Sphere of Law for the red matchups, Light of Day for the black matchups. You don't really need to even though you have black cards in this deck, you don't really attack with them. I think like Cloud Blazers and like the other blue cards are really the way to go here. Aura Fracture, pretty good against like Animate Dead decks, really good against the Infinite Combo deck. It hits like Arcane Adaptation, Animate Dead, Zombie Infestation, things like that. Steel Cleansing for disenchant effects. Aetherling is pretty good in the mirror and other control matchups. You really just end the game at some point, and a lot of times you'll just kind of dirtle around, so this card can just end the game for you. Teferi's Moat, pretty good against like the ground creature decks. Ultimate Price, extra removal. Lobotomy for the control matchups, and then Agony Warp for extra removal. I'm not sure if like this deck is good or Ribbons is really good, but he is a very, very good player. And this deck is, I don't know, I joke, but the deck is pretty good. It's just a value deck, And value is really awesome. Value is a great way of just like playing Magic sometimes, where you're just kind of getting incremental advantage with every card you play. 2-for-1s are just kind of one of my favorite ways of playing. So, and I know it's one of Rimmons' favorite ways of playing. So it's no surprise that he's doing well. If you want to check out the other lists from both of these tournaments, check the description below. There's a link. Thanks guys for watching. Take care.